Let me tell you, my first foray into driving change felt like I was stuck in one of those classic comedy routines where the words coming out of people's mouth were nothing like what was happening in reality. Let me set up the scene for you. Over a decade ago, I was a director of engineering in a Fortune 500 company. Let's call it my core. The company was not doing that well. It was closing underperforming divisions and laying off staff. My division was still doing okay. We had nice recurring revenue and handsome profit margins. But numbers don't always tell the whole story. Our customers were frustrated with us. It would take us 12 to 18 months, 12 to 18 months to release new features to the field. And that was just too slow for our customers. I was afraid we would lose our key customers. And if this were to happen, our division would be closed. The economy was struggling, and the closure of our division would likely mean a prolonged periods of unemployment for my team and me. And here's the thing, losing my job and the job of the 120 team members was just not an option. We had to adapt, and we had to adapt fast. It was personal, sure, but it was also a business problem hiding in plain sight. Nobody else cared. We were still making money while other divisions were hemorrhaging cash. My boss, he had bigger fish to fry. If I wanted this solved, it was on me. It felt overwhelming. It felt out of reach. But hey, I had to do that. The solution, agile development. We'd release new features every 6 months with prototype going to customer well before launch. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. The issue was really not finding the solution, it was getting everyone on board. I started with my team, which wasn't a walk in the park. They were used to doing things a certain way, and change is hard. I didn't force anything. We brainstormed ways to do things better and faster. Working with me was George, an upstanding process guy, a stickler to the rules, and my right hand man to formalize this new shift. Remember that feeling I mentioned earlier, like I was stuck in a bad comedy sketch? This is where things took a turn worthy of a British office style mockumentary. We'd have these meetings. Visionary idea would get tossed around. Vigorous nods of understanding all around. I'd leave feeling totally aligned. But then George formalized process documents would come back, and it was like he'd filmed the meeting, cut out all the good parts, and replaced them with scenes of him explaining stapler protocol in excruciating detail. It was baffling, maddening even. I couldn't understand what was going on. I knew George. He wasn't being passive aggressive or dense. He was one of the smartest guys I've ever worked with. So I talked to him. And it dawned on me, he was so entrenched in the old way of doing things that even with his enthusiastic nods, his brain kept trying to fit this new idea into outdated patterns. This made me realize something important. No matter how good the plan or vision, change initiatives like this always face human roadblocks. Think ingrained habits, fear of the unknown, sometimes office politics. And that explains a McKinsey study that found that only 31% of transformations actually succeed. 31%. 31%. My struggle at my core and others sparked some learnings about what it truly takes to lead change. Learnings that turned into my core principles, the Triumph 7 Steps, which I'm going to share with you all today.